Yeah, there we go. Welcome to the first episode of the Southwest Blitz. We'll bring it up here on the screen here in a moment. Chris, you can go ahead and unmute your mic. Good evening, everybody. We're working out the technical bugs here a little bit here on the Southwest Florida Blitz. Good evening to y'all, and hopefully, Chris, I hope I'm not hearing an echo. Are you hearing an echo on your end?
Nope, I'm not.
Okay, it's just on my end. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and adjust one thing on mine, and I'm going to see if that doesn't do anything better than that. So, not exactly sure where the echo is coming in on my end at, but good evening to everybody here. We're on the Southwest Florida Blitz, and we're going to kind of roll this here. We're going to roll it quickly here. I do apologize for all the technical delays and everything getting going here. And as you might see on the setup here, the display, it's a little different than what we had in the years past. As you can tell, we have a ticker on the bottom. We have the lower third. We even have the chat box onto the right side here. And we're going to do 8 shows here as we go through each and every week. And Coach Cory Mentzer from Charlotte will be joining us here. But first and foremost, kind of let's talk about some news, or we should say kickoff topic, as we get ready here for this week. And I'm going to play the familiar tone. That is time for the Blitz Lines here on the Blitz here. Can pull let's see. I think that might be better. Actually, there we go. I think the feedback is gone now on my end. So I don't have to hear it on that part. But you still hear me good?
Yes, I do.
You can still hear me good?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I think, never mind, that's not going to cancel the feedback out. But let's talk about what we've got going on here with the Blitz Line Kickoff Classic, Chris. With some big kickoff classics this week in Southwest Florida. I think a couple of ones that I really saw that highlighted that came out is with Gadsden County coming down to Venice. There's a lot of controversy going on right now with Gadsden County. They lost 8 players due to the FHA sanctions that came down. They were allowed to play at any other school besides Gadsden County. So I'm kind of interested to see how that kickoff classic goes there. Another one, a few of the ones others are still off of my top of my head as I pull up the list here. Cardinal Mooney at St. Thomas Aquinas, that's another big one right there. Cardinal Mooney sitting there in the top of projections for the 2025 season. A lot of people think they could win Class 2A, but Coco is sitting there in that classification, potentially looking at a 4th straight state title.
Yeah, Coco. It'll be interesting to see how these teams do, especially in the kickoff classic. I think it's going to be one of those things where you got to get your feet wet early, and the season starts the very next week, where it all counts.
No, absolutely, and it's definitely where you're talking about that, where it's going to really count here, and that is next week. Except if you're in the Sunshine State Athletic Association. They got games this week, so those games count for most of the teams that are playing games this week here. And but as we roll along here, and as we look at everything, yeah, they're saying there's an echo on my end for some reason. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Let's see. Chris, can you kind of carry for a moment here while I figure out my audio?
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, your audio got the echo. Take a look at some of the kickoff classic for Southwest Florida here. You got starting on Thursday on August 14th. You have IMG Academy playing against Palm Beach Christian Prep, and then a lot of them started on the 15th with Aubrey Rogers playing at Cape Coral. Barry and Collier at Cooper City going down South Florida. That's another big one. Cardinal Mooney going to St. Thomas Aquinas. Another big one going down to South Florida. But but there's plenty of them out there that's very interesting to see, especially on the kickoff classics. One of the ones that stands out to me is Stop Plantation at Lily, and then Riverview at Port Charlotte.
No, okay. So, Chris, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Is there an echo still?
No.
All right. So, I don't.
I don't hear it now.
Coach, if you can hear me, if it's an echo, I can see on the screen. If you hear an echo, let me know. I'm just trying to. Is there an echo still or no? No echo? Okay, I'm seeing a no echo. It's on my end. I'm trying to figure out. I might have to do it that way. Not sure yet. See what that happens. Is that? See if that does anything. Yeah, I'm still getting the echo. I don't know what's going on my end, but that seems to be better for everybody else. But a couple other of the kickoff classics that I have seen here, looking at a couple of the other ones here, Chris. There's some big ones here, and I was trying to get as I go back here to the list, getting pulled up here. Let me go ahead and get that pulled up here because we got some big ones. Actually, and this will be on Thursday night. IMG Academy National is going to be at First Academy in Orlando. That's a huge game right there because First Academy is going to be playing an independent schedule this year, especially following the after everything that happened last year, incorporating the games. A lot of athletes having issues with their eligibility.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how IMG Academy responds to First Academy. That's one of those interesting games that I don't know. I could see IMG Academy just rolling over that game, but that's going to be a game that it's a big test for First Academy.
No, absolutely. And let's see if I get this adjusted as we roll along here. But looking at a couple other games here that I am interested in seeing, Palmetto will travel up to Zephyr Hills. That'll be another interesting game right there as well. And then one that I'm going to pull up here that I'm really kind of curious to see what's going to happen. I had it here on my list, and then it has disappeared on me here. And Charlotte at Lemon Bay, I like that kind of Charlotte County matchup just to kind of see and kind of test everything out. It's a good way of playing some in-county rivals, even when if you don't play in the regular season. I think that is a better way of going about it.
Yeah, that's good. It's going to be a fun matchup to see. I think Charlotte County can show up for that one.
No, absolutely. I know. And along the way here, the echo is still really bad in my ear, and I'm trying to figure out why it's doing this. So, Chris, if there's a couple of other things you want to talk about on the kickoff, please go ahead and take it away on this for a moment while I still figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, let's look at some of the other games here. You got Bayshore Southeast, and you have Cardinal Mooney. I think St. Thomas we touched on that. So they're going to be playing at Sebring, Charlotte, playing at Lemon Bay. Then you have Cypress Lake against North Fort Myers, and then you have Evangel Christian and Fort Myers at Estero. That's going to be a three-way jamboree there in Estero. Let's see, you got Golden Gate against Cypress Creek in Orlando. They're traveling to Orlando for that.
We're going to try that and see if that's better. Is that better? Yes,
Yeah.
I think we may have gotten the echo resolved. I think I know where it's coming from now. So I think I got
Good.
that situation out of the way here. So I definitely apologize. Hey, it's the first show of the season. Hey, it's preseason classic. So you know what? Hey, we can take a mulligan here like the teams are going to do in the preseason. You know, hey, it's a time to get the rust off here, basically.
Yeah.
You agree with that on Chris? I think Emery,
Yeah.
hopefully Emery will post a comment here and we'll be able to see that here in the box here in a moment here and be able to do that. But with that said, we're going to try to roll this along here pretty good. Yeah, it's much better now. So I know what the issue was is that because of the way the setup is with the cameras, I kind of had to, it was a setup and apparently I clicked the wrong setup in one part, and then fixing it in the other. So that is on me 1000%. So we'll kick the rust off. We'll kick the bugs out here. And we'll roll along here. But, Chris, let's take a quick break here, and then we're going to bring head coach Cory Mentzer on from the Charlotte Tarpons. Charlotte, the defending district champs down there in their district there, and in Class 5A. Usually I have my districts pretty lined up here pretty much. Well,
Yeah, they're in 5A.
Yeah, Class 5A, and they're going to be going for another district title this year. And I'll tell you this, the Florida Power Rankings Index is indicating possibly that could happen this year again. How about that?
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting thing to see.
No, absolutely. And with that said, all right, we'll take a break here, and we'll be right back here after about 2 minutes here on the Southwest Florida edition of the Blitz. We'll be right back right after this. And all right, welcome back here to the Blitz as we get ready to bring in Coach Cory Mentzer on. Chris, you can go ahead and unmute your mic as well. I believe I can go ahead and mute you there. There you go. And as we get Coach ready here in just a moment here as we set up things. But Chris, it's good to be back here. It's everything and with that and the season coming up, and it's hard to believe that we're really actually here at this phase of the junction. It's almost time for toe to meet weather. So
yeah, but they say when August comes around, you know the season's right around the corner.
No, absolutely. No, absolutely, and we'll all that. But while we wait for Coach here for a moment here, let's if you got a comment or question or anything you want to just drop in the chat, we can go ahead and bring that on. If you're commenting, if you're watching on X/YouTube. And I just don't see him on the screen. Okay, we lost you on the screen. There, okay, there we go. All right, and let's see. There we go. There we go. We got Coach on now here. Okay, I see the screen here. Hold on one second. I think we're having where we can't get the screen coming in here. So, Coach, can you see us, or I can't see you? So I don't know if it's maybe the screen where if you're on your phone, it went kind of out there for a moment. If you bring it back up or something, I don't know what happened there, but
I can see myself.
Hold on one second, Coach. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, for some reason, can you see Coach on there, Chris? Because I can't see it on my end.
No.
Coach, if you go back, if you just come back out and go back in, it should reset it. I don't know why it did that all of a sudden, but go back out and come back in, and then I'll be able to bring you back in. Okay. So sorry about that, everybody. Again, it's the preseason. It's time to shake off the rust here. We haven't done this in a hot minute, but starting from this point forward, we are going to be doing this every week here, pretty much.
It's fine to get all the kinks out of the way before we get going.
No, absolutely. But I'll tell you this right now here in terms of everything that we've got going on here with all this. And there we go. Emery saying he's glad that football is finally back. Some interesting games this week. Kickoff classic for FSA and regular season games for SSAA. By the way, if you're watching us, you hit that YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell on YouTube at Florida HS Football. Hit that again, that subscribe button, that notification bell. That way you can know when we go live and we post up new content. And also season ticket memberships, a lot of new subscribers this week, and we definitely appreciate that with everybody. $59.99 per year for the season ticket, or you can also get the monthly season ticket for $7.99, and definitely a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new content going up here, especially with the Florida Power Rankings Index. And it looks like Coach is set to go here now. Finally, I think we've got it. Coach Cory Mentzer from the Charlotte Tarpons. Hey, Coach, how are you doing, my man?
I'm doing good.
As I said just a few minutes ago, hey, it's time to shake the rust off here, and I think that's what we're all doing this week is shake the rust off. Because school started on Monday for a lot of people. I think school started on Monday for y'all too down there yesterday?
Yes, we started yesterday officially with school.
Wow, absolutely. So, Coach, you won the district title in 23, lost last year to Cape in what was your Hurricane game. So I misquoted there on the district title, but still, I think the projections are showing pretty clearly. I think y'all are in for a really good, solid season here. So, kind of just give us an insight. When you've been building this program up. You've been part of the Charlotte staff for a long time under Binky Waldrop. You took over as a few years ago as the head coach, and just kind of give us some insights about what it is to be a Charlotte Terrapin and about the program. Especially when you look to your south and north. There's a lot of growth going on between Sarasota and Lee counties, and here y'all are. I mean, there's a lot of growth in Charlotte County alone, but just to talk about when there's only 3 programs in Charlotte County, but yet when people talk about Charlotte County football, it's either y'all or it's the crosstown rival Port Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. No, this year actually is our centennial year. So we opened in 1926. We'll be celebrating 100 years starting January. So it just goes to show, the tradition and the pride that's in the school. You mentioned it, coaching under Binky Waldrop, who now the field's named after, playing under him, now taking over the program. It's really surreal, but I've the last couple of years tried to build the right staff, brought in a lot of former head coaches, and now this senior group is the first group I had as freshmen, and we're really working to build something special this year.
No, absolutely, and I mean, talk about some of the coaches that you have brought in that are on the staff, because I feel like that it's not just it's not just about you, but it's that entire coaching staff that helps build that culture, builds these kids to be better than hey, if you could be 1% better the next day, that's what you want them to do, and then and just talk about that and being able to develop the culture y'all have.
Absolutely. A lot of people think, head coach, but honestly, you mentioned it, the importance of a quality staff, and that was my goal when I took over. So currently I have 5 former head coaches on staff. I brought one from Ohio, who is a retired head coach, Jack O'Rourke. He's my running back coach. I brought a former 3-time state championship coach, Barry Bowman. He was the head coach in Texas at Dangerfield back in 08, 09, and 10 when they had a three-peat. He's my offensive coordinator. I stole the coach up the road from DeSoto, Bumper Hay. So he is
wow. I'm impressed.
And then I also grabbed the former Tarpon, who was the head coach of Island Coast down in Lee County. He is my receiver coach, and that's Chris Burnett. And then I have another coach from Indiana, Chris Strykowski, who came from a private school, Roncalli, who won multiple state titles. So, my whole philosophy is you're only as smart as the people around you. And it's been my goal since day one to bring in those guys who have, been there, done that, won championships, and can coach our kids up the best way possible.
Absolutely.
Coach, I'm very familiar with the. I'm very familiar with the coach from Dangerfield. Talk about what he brings to your program and the championship attitude that he teaches your kids.
I mean, that's old school Texas football. I mean, hard nosed. You talk about winning and the highest level. He's been there. So he really elevates our offense, takes it to the next level. We have an inside joke, with everything going on in Florida now with the transfer portal and the weather and the wet bulb and everything else we deal with. He just shakes his head sometimes and goes, "We don't do this in Texas." So it's a little inside joke.
That's something right there. Just bring up we don't do the wet bulb in Texas.
Listen, and I got to remind him, I'm like, buddy, this is Florida. We only make pennies and peanuts. You made a lot more money in Texas coaching, but we do it for the kids, and we have a good time doing it. We have a great relationship and great rapport. And I'm very excited, like I said, what this coaching staff and this group can do this year.
No, absolutely. I mean, talk about the challenges of practicing, because I think that's a way of really kind of we just focus here real quick on that. Just talk about the challenges of practicing. I mean, considering that I know that it has stormed quite probably more days than not since practice has kicked off.
Today was our second day in 2 weeks we've been outside. Every day's been in the black zone, which is, of course, no outdoor practice or activity. We got creative one day, practice in the cafeteria because our gym floor was getting redone, only to get kicked out the next day.
Oh, jeez.
We're just doing what we can, and honestly, rolling with the punches. And the whole theme for this year, every year we have a theme. This year is new. And I told the kids, God's going to do a new thing, but every day is going to be new. You got to overcome the adversity, the obstacles, and ultimately, whatever situation we get put in, we have to learn how to handle it and adapt. And that's going to be just like, Friday nights. But it has definitely been a challenge, and I've been now coaching 11 years in Florida. I have never been outside this little the first 3 weeks of season.
Boy, an indoor practice facility would be nice.
You talk about the program. The program right on the cusp of competing with the top regional teams like Manatee and Fort Myers. What kind of message are you telling your kid about about competing with those teams?
So last year, little insight, the transfer portal, I call it, really hurt us because we came off a district title, but we did lose a lot of kids. I was trying to reset the culture. So last year, I had 8 sophomores starting that first round playoff game. Thought we had Fort Myers beat. Sirianni and his staff, they tied it up, took it to overtime, and we ended up losing. But putting those young guys in that situation, now they know what it takes to come out a winner. And that's really been the message all spring, all summer. And we're just competing. And a couple of those young guys who are now juniors with a very solid senior class, we're looking to compete with Manatee and beat Fort Myers and those guys. We're very unique where we are because unlike Manatee County or, even where Venice is, they can pull a lot of people from local areas and schools. Charlotte County, we only have 3 schools. And Lemon Bay is so far west, they're 50 minutes away. So really it's between Port Charlotte and us. And then if you go 30 minutes south before you even get to a school in Lee County. So we don't get the transfers that a lot of these schools are getting in today's world. So a lot of the team, they're all homegrown kids. They played at our local Pop Warner organization, and now they kind of came up through the feeder program, and they get in as a freshman, and we have to just develop them.
No, absolutely, and at the end of the day, I mean, now the page turns to the 2025 season here, Coach. I mean, obviously, Lemon Bay, you're gonna shake the rust off, obviously this week. Get that, get the bugs out of the way here, and then it just rolls right into the regular season schedule. I mean, looking at it, I mean, Gulf Coast, Northport, but then you get that bye week early. I mean, I know. Do you feel like the bye week the placement of the bye week, does that have a big impact on y'all or not? In terms of a team, because sometimes for some teams they start the season with a bye week in week 1, and it's like, well, geez, you go 10 straight games. So how do you feel like with the placement of the bye week? Is it where you would like it to be, or is it would you prefer more in the middle of the schedule?
Last year I didn't really think it bothered us too bad. We started off the year strong. We're 3-0, and then we lost to Fort Myers. It was our first real road game test, and having the youth we did, they just weren't ready. But ultimately, that was kind of a scheduling issue because we had teams drop us and trying to pick them up. But ultimately, I don't really play a big factor where the bye week is. Because last year I think we did have a couple kids banged up early, and it gave us a chance to rest them, and so we had them for the rest of the year. Just hit or miss.
No, absolutely, and everything like that. But I mean, Hendry Smith said, I mean, he's mentioned, he did mention here in the chat real quick. He said that a lot of the coaches and players that have coached in Charlotte County have come and coached over y'all. So I mean, they seem that it seems like DeSoto County seems to be a feeder, a feeder for y'all. They bring up the coaches come in for to y'all.
Listen, if a coach is not actively coaching at a school and they're knowledgeable and they're looking to get back into it, I'm all ears, and that's kind of how I've gotten the staff I have today.
Absolutely. Chris, you got any final thoughts here before we got to roll on? Because I know we're kind of running short on time here tonight with everything, with all the technical bugs, trying to get them all worked out here.
Yeah, I'm good, Coach. I hope you have a good season.
Appreciate it.
I wish y'all the best of luck this season.
We just got to pray there's no hurricanes.
No, that's the. Let's just not even talk about what's out in the Atlantic right now. Let's just not even do that right now because we're not.
Hey, if it stays far east, we're good.
I don't want week 1 being impacted. No, thank you. We just won't talk about it here. But Coach Cory Mentzer, I appreciate you being able to talk to us here tonight on the Southwest Florida Blitz, and we'll see what the Tarpons do here as 2025 kicks off as toe meets leather this week. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Go Tarpons. Thank you for having me.
All right, you take care. Have a good one, Coach. And that was head coach Cory Mentzer joining us here on the interview here on the Southwest Florida Blitz. Chris, we're kind of running short on time here, but we still have to get some games picked here tonight. And we've got several of them here on the list here. And as I'm going to get ready to start here, there's another familiar sound out. People will know here from the previous incarnations of the Blitz. But remember, we're doing 8 regions this year and 8 Blitz shows here. So, and this is going to be the fun part here. Does anybody remember that from last year and the year before that? The Blitz music with the pick 6. Chris, that sound familiar to you as well?
Oh yeah.
Hey, sometimes what's new is old again, and what's old is new. So there you go. And what's new is new. All right, as we get ready to roll here on the picks here, some of y'all might be asking where Reno is at. Reno is going to be sporadic on the shows this year. There's some things that have kind of, he may be here and there, probably more with the North Florida shows, but Chris will be more on the shows here with me across the board here during the season. Sometimes I might be flying solo here at night as well, and we'll see what's going on from there, and we'll go from there as well. But I'm trying to see my...
all depends on the schedule.
Yeah, we'll keep rolling on the schedule here, but all right. So with that said, here, what do we got this week in terms of games? It's not going to be a full pick 6 slate here, which is what's interesting here is because we don't have as many games on this pick 6 slate here usually, but in the Southwest Florida Blitz, we do have 6 games here for tonight, and we're going to roll right through it here, starting with. Let's go ahead and bring that to the active topic here. We're at the first pick 6 game of the night. Canterbury Fort Myers at Gateway Charter here. And Chris, looking at this, we've got some win probabilities. We're going to show you a few of the win probabilities. We're going to give you a taste of what you're going to see on FloridaHSFootball.com under the Florida Power Rankings Index probabilities here in a moment. We're going to show you a little bit of it. We're not giving away the full house. But this is what you get part of the subscription. We're giving you a taste of it with this. There's the other part of it, but we're not showing you the other part, and that's the projected score. We're not revealing that. You got to get the subscription for that. So FloridaHSFootball.com/season ticket. That's where you can get a season ticket subscription. But Chris, what are you thinking here as we reveal what the line is? Which by the way, that's public. That's free for everybody to see the forecasted line here. And as we pull up that, Canterbury is a 14-point favorite over Gateway Charter here. The win probability is sitting at 90% for Canterbury, Gateway Charter at 10%. Give me your thoughts here, Chris.
I don't see Gateway Charter competing very well in the game. So give me Canterbury.
Canterbury. I'm going with Canterbury. I think Canterbury is just a better team here until Gateway Charter can show me what they've really got. I'm just not really ready to roll with any chance of Gateway Charter winning this game. And Reno is taking Canterbury as well here in this as well. So we are going to roll with that here in this scenario here. All right. As we roll along here, as we've got this here and that, and yes, Emery Smith, thank you very much. It's well worth it. Gosh, post entering content on this site. I do appreciate that, as you can see there in the live chat here on the show here. All right. So with that said, we're all taking Canterbury here. And Chris, our next game up here for week 0, I should say here. Here we go. Tradition Prep at LaBelle. And this one I'm kind of really just kind of scratching my head on, honestly, here, because Tradition Prep would be still in SSA Atlantic, but right this second they are not listed as one of the 20 teams for this year, but they're still, from my understanding, they're still a member of the SSA, but they're just not going to be eligible for the playoffs this year for various reasons. But this game was very interesting in terms of what the forecast is going to be. And Chris, give me your thoughts on this one as we pull up the FPR line and win probability here.
LaBelle got too much talent to compete with this game. I don't see Tradition Prep being in this game at all.
Yeah, I'm with this in this one as well. LaBelle, 25-point favorite over Tradition Prep, but giving them a 98% chance to win this game. Only giving Tradition Prep a 2% chance here. I have to roll with LaBelle, and so is Reno rolling with LaBelle in terms of on the expert pick. So this is what we're going to roll here. All right, in terms of our next with the FPR with the next game in the pick 6 pick game number 3, Eagles View out of Jacksonville making the road trip to Sarasota Christian here, and Eagles View new head coach coming in. Sarasota Christian saw some things happen that they could go do, and being able to they were able to win some games last year. I think they're looking for some improvement this year here, and honestly, I think Sarasota Christian's going to show some promise here, and that starts with, I think, like a win over Eagles View to start the season.
I agree with that. Sarasota Christian will be a good victory at home.
No, absolutely. And as we look at it here in terms of the FPR line and win probability, Sarasota Christian is a 14-point favorite, giving Sarasota Christian an 89% chance to win this game. Eagles View only at 11%. And again, when you see these win probabilities, you start to see when you say, hey, this is never a chance. But I'll tell you this. There's always a chance for these teams in most weeks here. And Emery Smith says, don't know much about Tradition Prep. LaBelle had a good season last year, but on a weak schedule, I'll go with LaBelle. And I'm going rolling with Sarasota Christian. Reno is rolling with Sarasota Christian as well. So someone has not chosen a different pick here. So we're rolling. We're going to have to keep rolling here with this one here. But real quick here, Chris, as we roll on to, let me start the music up back here, because we do have a full 6-game slate on this one here as well. But our 4th game that we're picking on Halifax Academy, new to the SSA out of Daytona, playing at Out of Door. And I'm really kind of interested in seeing how this one goes for the newcomers. But Out of Door, pretty solid year last year. They've had a few solid years under Coach Hallway over there at Out of Door Academy, and right now, as it looks here on the FPRI line and win probabilities, there you go. Out of Door is a 26-point favorite, with giving Out of Door a 98% chance to win this game.
Out of Door is a good team, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than that spread indicates. Out of Door still wins.
Really? You're getting, wow, okay. That is really interesting. And Reno's going with Out of Door. I'm going with Out of Door. So we are just really at this particular point here, kind of really just at this point, we're going to end up having the same record here going into week 1. I'll tell you that right now. But let's roll into our 5th game for this week, and that is an 8-man game. Yes, there is 8-man football here in the Sunshine State. That is Ocala Christian at Bradenton Christian. Bradenton Christian went down from 11-man to 8-man last year. Going to play a full 8-man slate this year. But Ocala Christian, who was really one of the top teams in that 8-man division last year, looking really solid again this year. And the FPRI line for that game, it's given them a pretty good favorable chance, 22 over Bradenton Christian, with a 97% chance to win this game. Chris, what are you thinking?
You know, anytime you switch like from 11-man to 6-man or 11-man to 8-man, it's a transition period.
Oh wow!
Ocala Christian should be able to win this game.
Yeah, they should be able to win this game here, and I think that's going to be pretty solid here. And Reno is going with on this as well. He is going to take Ocala. Hold on 1 second. I got it right here because he sent me a change. Yeah, Ocala Christian indeed with that. And then we have one more game here on this slate here for the week 0. I'm sorry, I say week 6, but week 0 slate. That is Slam Tampa at Classical Academy. It's another 8-man game here. And as we roll that real quick here in that situation here, the FPR line says Slam Tampa 15 over Classical Academy here, with Slam having a 91% chance to win this game.
I think Slam Tampa's a better team, but I wouldn't be surprised if Classical Academy gets it close.
No, absolutely, and with all that, and I definitely think it's going to be really, really interesting to see what is going to happen here with these games. Of course, this is what you're going to see every week during the season here on FloorHSFootball.com. Is you're going to see some win probabilities. If you want to see a projected score, you got to go on FloorHSFootball.com under the Florida Power Rankings Index, and you will find the score projected, the projected score, along with all the win probabilities on every single game, every single week during the 2025 season. So worth it buying the $7.99 a month, or I encourage you, you save money with getting the yearly subscription at $59.99 under the season ticket. FloorHSFootball.com/season ticket. And of course, you can follow us on social media at FLAHSFootball, and as well at X, and then on the rest of the social media handles at FloorHSFootball, and of course hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And but we're gonna sign off on this show here, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna have the Space and Treasure Coast Blitz. I think we've had a couple issues with our potential guest here for that night, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna still have the show, but we're not sure if we're gonna have a full guest on yet or not, but we will have that situated when we come back. We'll be coming on here with that here in just a few minutes. We'll be right back right after this here on FloorHSFootball.com and our social media handles. We'll see you soon.